Welcome back to Let's Play Lennus 2, the sequel to Paladin's Quest, something we have been reminded of by the sudden appearance of Midia, who looks completely different from the way we remember her. This is Mysterious JG, trying once again to remember to keep my voice down, because I'm recording this in such a way that if you crank the speakers you can hear the cool audio. Here, she's sort of halfway between two hexes for some reason. But she does have the ability to turn around. I am so grateful. Thanks to you, Ferris, I have finally been freed from the restraints of those accursed force field barriers. Are you going to hurry up and I guess I was half thinking that it's going to turn out that Ferris, the immortal Reigen, is like, well, for one thing, it's like, thanks to you, Pollock, the strange fish creature, I have finally been freed from the restraints of those accursed force field barriers. I was kind of assuming that we were going to find out that Ferris is actually the son of Chesney and Midia. But didn't we already find out that Ferris is like the child of the villain whose name I forget, who's like the ultimate evil in this game? And that's part of what makes the game kind of weird, is that your dad is like Mr. Evil Man. It's kind of like being Alucard, except less disturbingly Bushonen. I know that you have trekked here in a noble effort to halt the real Great Union, the real hot rod, dirty dog Dennis Rodman. The pain and confusion you've suffered, I've witnessed it all from right here. Now, hear my story. Now, listen to my story. Once upon a time, Gabnid, see? It's all coming together, folks. Gabnid was a pretty fun boss. I liked Gabnid. I mean, it was a cool backstory for the world. That basically all the turmoil that was created in this world was because the really smart but kind of homely member of the trio of immortals was not able to win the girl away from the handsome, strong immortal, so he fucked everything up. Once upon a time, Gabnid, the High Patriarch of the immortal Reigans, created this world of Elts. I didn't know that he outranked the other two. Quite simply, Petro and I are descended from Gabnid. Midia and Petro? Is Petro going to turn out to be Ray Chesney the Avatar? Huh. Hands ago, while wandering through... I thought he was going to turn out to be like evil guy pretending to be good, and now it's going to turn out he's actually probably Ray Chesney the Avatar. Hands ago, while wandering through... Well, the Ray Chesney the Avatar was kind of a jerk when I did my Paladin's Quest playthrough. One of my signatures in LPing RPGs is to make the protagonist, who doesn't really say much, just kind of be a condescending jerk, especially to his love interest. Anyway, aeons ago, while wandering through Eld's Gabnid, who was also called the original Reigen, split into two super beings. He did. But his two incarnations fell into immediate conflict with each other. One twin endeavored to bring people happiness and peace. As I mentioned, Petro and I are his descendants. But the evil twin also bore progeny, including Granada and his henchmen. I thought that Ray Chesney and Tina Medina were supposed to be descended from Cormu and Sophie, and I'm kind of surprised at myself for remembering those names, who were totally getting it on and stuff. But at the same time, I hadn't thought about that too hard, because that would mean that Ray Chesney the Avatar and Tina Medina were related, which would make their own love a little bit funky and weird. I don't know how many generations were supposed to separate them. I also don't understand the whole idea that these Reigen children just show up in this world that hadn't had Reigens for generations. But anyway. Those attempted to create a dark void in our sector of the universe. But now, their life forces are waning, thus Granada is desperate to regenerate his strength. By sacrificing 2 worlds, not 1, not 2, but 2, so I guess 2. Granada has calculated that the unleashed power would render him immortal forever. Immortal forever. That's kind of redundant. Reminds me of a fun little sequence in The Five Doctors where where somebody says that God, what is the character's name? Barusa wants to become immortal, and the Brigadier says, "You mean he wants to live forever?" And the second Doctor says, "That is what the word means, Brigadier." Sorry, it's flashing back there. You see, another celestial body swirls in a remote part of our firmament. I love that word. A beautiful planet almost identical to Elt's, and they used it correctly. This world is called Lennus. Yes! Lennus. I was hoping we'd get to go to Lennus. Although the world of Eltz has pretty similar geography. At least, the vegetation looks similarly funky. Although I don't think Lennus had those rocks being held up by trees that this world has. I happen to love that old planet Lennus with its stark, rugged landscape. It is really quite beautiful. Oh, that's sweet. For some reason, this particular conversation is making me drop some of my objections to the way the translators have handled some of the dialogue. If Granada's mad scheme succeeds, however, Eltz and Lennus will unite to create SOA. An ultimate Death Star that will burn through space. Oh yes, ultimate Death Star. So, like, cooler than the one from Return of the Jedi that was supposed to be more powerful even though it was, like, barely even there. SOA, I now seem to recall, actually showed up as a term in Paladin's Quest. I believe they were, like... Was the SOA crest, or SOA... There was some piece of equipment called SOA something that cast the death spell. So now that I think about it, it all kind of makes sense. Ultimate Death Star, baby. A destroyer of life forms. Sacrifice absorb, motherfuckers. Sorry. All this to allow Granada and his minions to become immortal masters of the universe. It's frightening. But first, back home, all living beings on both Eltz and Lennus will be snuffed out immediately. So they're going to create a Death Star, but before the Death Star is even created, it's going to kill everyone that we've met in this game. This, Ferris, is the sum and substance of the real Great Union. And you, that's the sum total. Oh, Ferris. You are the Actor-Dragon! Act 8 pertains to the past. Allow me to explain further. Yes, please. I'm not getting the Actor-Dragon thing. In the past, during ancient times, Granada ensconced your physical form in the Andal underworld. Used ensconced correctly, too. Granada placed you, Ferris, in Andal to become the trigger for all the great unions. Once you awakened, the caretakers at your resting place induced you to act upon bogus legends and prophecies. Yeah, induce is a good word. Bogus, I don't know about unleashing the bogus. I'm waiting for them to use the word nomenclatural. Planted by Granada 10,000 years ago, but you were not at fault, for at that time you knew nothing of our history. But Petro understood, for he was the one who awakened you, beating Granada to the punch. Hey, good job, Polak. No, I said Petro. Oh. As Petro gambled, you have opted to work with him and rescue me, the offspring of Gabnet's benevolent side. Now that you have freed me from my prison, Petro and I remain determined to stop Granada at all costs. And ... We are not alone in this dream. You will find more of us out in the world. So go now, go to the sea. There you will find allies in the navel of the Sea of Eltz. The navel? That's like navel oranges. Are you prepared? Will you continue on this path you have begun? Ferris gets to talk. I'm trying to think, how did I make Ferris talk? I think the last time he talked it was like Alan Rickman. You are right, Midia. I have been confused. I have traveled 2 realms, seeking answers and meeting people. This entity, said to be my own father, has destroyed those who helped me. I didn't mean to click that. I clicked past that. I'd said something about Jubal. I mentioned him again. It's nice. Jubal got a mention. Much seems incomprehensible at times, but now my way is clear. By Blackthorn's hammer, I will avenge you. I don't remember the actual line. I'm sure Blackthorn wasn't the name, but anyway, Galaxy Quest, that's what I'm talking about. I am truly in a position to make choices. Therefore, so that the tears I and others have shed will not be in vain, Granada, my own father, must be stopped. Quigley, I will always be your friend, Quigley. God bless you, Ferris. Whatever. By the way, in light of what you said, we hope to preserve the Andalese survivors and what remains of their world, the Andalesian dog. Also, I have an artifact that should help you prevail during your tough journeys ahead. First, receive the rainbow seed. As it drifts endlessly across this vast wasteland, I shall remain here to defend my floating castle. From what? Why don't you go see Potentate Petro? Find out for sure if he's actually Ray Chesney. You are our only hope now. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are our only hope from our lonely perch upon this isolated bastion. Hey, they used bastion correctly. Yeah, Bastion is actually a base in Afghanistan. It's a British base. It's very close to where I am, although I probably shouldn't have said that. I shall watch over your battles. No, Kata knows that this one LPer is somewhat close to this one British base. I shall watch over your battles. Varys, for all of us who cherish the life forms in our expansive universe, I wish you the ultimate success. I wish you to become one of the ultimate maniacs. Ooh, yeah, brother. Tut. You will always make the impossible possible, but I don't think you can stand this place much longer. Tut. Yes, go now, Ferris. Northwest to the navel of the Sea of Alps. And be careful. I would love to go with you, but must remain here and keep guarding this castle. Why? Ferris put it in his tool bag. Yeah, because he thinks that might just turn out to be his mother there, so he really wants to make sure he keeps it in his bag. He doesn't take it out, his tool. Rainbow Seed was acquired. Yes, go now. Get out of here. Okay, well, I don't know what you're guarding this place against. We seem to have defeated all the enemies here. But okay. What? Hey, wait a minute. I think we've gone the wrong way here. We need to get back to the foyer. Yep. Wrong way. Oh, never mind. She's defending the castle against the monsters who still live here, apparently. So yeah, let's go get on our friend, the slug flying thingy. Ferris always gets... Oh, and now it's like sealed. I wonder if this means we can't jump back in. I'm curious. Come on. Yep. She's locked us out. Mom wants us out of the house. She wants an empty nest. I keep thinking, oh, it's Midia. Maybe it turns out Ferris is the child of Midia and Chesney. But no, the game has explicitly told us that's not what's going on. But I can't drop the idea. So anyway, it was interesting to see Midia, but we really didn't learn anything more. I mean, they sort of pulled in Lennus and Gabnid a little bit, but really, basically, it's still about stopping Granada from doing the real Great Union. The only thing what we know now is that the different continents of Andal were all drawn together, and that caused massive destruction, but the real Great Union is going to be Elts ramming into Lennus. So we've been spending pretty much the entire game either underground or on the surface of the world. It is Lennus 2 in a way, because we've been spending the entire game on the surface of the world that will ram into Lennus and destroy it. So anyway, let's climb down and let's talk to some folks and get some plot stuff going here. This is the harbor town of Sergio Leone. Let's stay at the end. Look out for man who possesses a chart of the seas. With the aid of this map and spirit power, you should be able to locate Zorbani. What is Zorbani? Oh well. Wait a minute. I missed something I'm curious about. Where did Polak go at bedtime? Okay, he actually did disappear into a bed. Because he's so short, you can't see his head poking out. I thought maybe he went to sleep on Ferris's shoulder, the way that he's on Ferris's shoulder in battle. Command boots would improve Myra's defense. Otherwise, we pretty much got what we need to have here. I'm sure I've already owned some of those, and I probably sold them not realizing that. I've got multi-arrow, and it's really not that... Maybe multi-arrow attacks more than once or something. I'll go ahead and give it a try. I think it's better than the triple arrow that she's... No, she's using the Hell Whip now. Hold on. Let's see. I definitely remember reading somewhere that multi-arrow does 277. Triple arrow does 215. So let's try multi-arrow. Oh, and need to give her command boots too, don't I? Oh, it switched it back to what I didn't want it to be. Alright, well now we've gone over 15 minutes. Okay, when we come back, folks, we'll wander around town, we'll talk to people, we'll get on the boat, and we'll start looking for the ocean's navel, I guess. Because that's somehow going to be the secret to finding Lennus. And now, been kind of down on this game recently, just combination of factors, not really the game's fault itself, but yeah, I'm kind of interested in getting Lennus. I want to see the old stomping ground, and also I'm curious to see if I have a feeling that the game is mostly over. We've got most of the spirits, but I mean, how are they going to present Lennus to us at this stage of the game? Lennus was like its own full game-sized map before. I guess we'll find out in some future videos. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you next time.